All right. Good morning, guys. It's looking like a pretty nice morning here for Tesla. Wow. What a move. So, yeah. Damn. Anyone have Tesla calls open? I'm interested. I don't, unfortunately. I have a lot of shares. Shares are always good. Who's got Tesla calls open? Morning, guys. Morning, Josh, David, Shannon, Albert. Yeah, I was a little early this morning, I know. I was so excited about Tesla, I had to jump on. Morning from Japan. You got one Tesla call? Nice. Those should be up very nicely this morning. Those are going to be up a ridiculous %. You should have a nice day today. Shareholder, yep. Congratulations to anyone that sticks to the script and continue to buy Tesla shares as it fell. That's looking like a fantastic opportunity, a fantastic thing that worked out. Sold Tesla calls on Friday because it runs on Monday. Wow, yeah, you got what you wanted. So, guys, let's go ahead and get started. What what a move this morning on Tesla. If anyone's unaware of the news, Tesla is planning to do a stock, or they're wanting to do a stock split to provide stock dividends. Now, this is different than cash dividends. This is not your normal, you get, $3 or whatever it is on the shares that you own. This is actually providing equity to the shareholders. So this is why the stock is moving. It's not just because of a stock split. That's what I'm looking online, and everyone's talking about a stock split, freaking out about a stock split, but this is actually a little bit more than just a stock split. If Tesla was to provide stock dividends, that would be a very big catalyst for the stock, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would be interested in that. I think a lot of dividend investors would be interested in that. It's a potentially very big a big turning point for the stock. For a stock like Tesla to provide stock dividends, that is pretty awesome. So that's that's something that I think they're going to have to get stockholder approval on, shareholder approval on. It's not guaranteed to happen. I don't believe they'll have to get it approved. But that is the news this morning. So pretty awesome. I would definitely be approval. I would definitely be someone to approve that. I am a shareholder, and that would be something would be quite awesome. So today, we'll talk about it. Do we look for more upside? What do we look for? How do we trade this? In my opinion, guys, I'm not even going to try to get too aggressive on Tesla with options. I am just very happy that I continued to buy shares. That has been paying off beautifully over the last week. Just continuously dollar cost averaging into some of the really good stocks that got really badly beat down. I mean, Tesla was down 40% off its highs. You don't get 40% discount on Tesla very often. So congratulations to anyone that was buying Tesla shares on the downside. Just really, really nice stuff. So today, we'll go ahead and prepare ourselves for the day. As always, it's Monday. As you guys know, my approach on Mondays, I have a very systematic approach on Mondays. I am very careful on Mondays. Mondays are the days where I need to wait and see what the market wants to do on the first day of the week, right? I need to see what's the market, what's the feeling, what's the momentum like, what's the feeling on the market. It's a new week. Are people taking profits? Are we weak? Is the market strong? What's going on Monday? I can't get a feel for that unless I give the market some time. That is always my Monday plan. So I'll never get too aggressive on a Monday unless I see something maybe that's really, really good, or I sort of see a setup that I love. But on a Monday, I'm always a little bit more cautious. So that's what I'm gonna plan to do today, and we'll talk through some of the stuff I'm watching to get a feel for what's going on. So we'll look at the futures, economic and earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pull that up. I don't think we have much of anything on the earnings calendar this week. Let me see if it's even... Let me pull it up. Here we go. So here's the earnings calendar this week, guys. Go ahead and zoom out here for you. So really not much that I even know about, to be honest. Let me zoom in one more here. So nothing really today. Dave & Buster's, not stock I trade. Academy Sports, I've seen that before. Chewy, Restoration Hardware, Lululemon tomorrow. That's interesting. I am a Lulu shareholder. Sundial, Solar Stock, Micron, MU. Not much here. UiPath. Thursday, what do we got? BlackBerry. Nothing much, guys. So, I mean, we're gonna slowly sort of, slowly lean away on the earnings. It's gonna slowly go away. Earnings is coming to an end here. So some of these smaller names gonna continue to report, but nothing I'm too interested in there. So, earnings calendar. That is Earnings Whisper. We also have it you just have it in the Discord chat. Shout out to Breadman for providing that. Thank you, Breadman. Economic calendar. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. This week, I haven't even looked at it yet, so I'm looking at this live with you guys here. Today is Monday. Nothing much on today. Trade-in goods, advance report. I don't think that's going to be very effective. So nothing really today. House price index. tomorrow. We have seen, if you guys are not aware, I'm sure most of you are aware. But if anyone has seen the mortgage rates recently, I would like to make that aware to everyone here on the stream. I know it doesn't affect us directly very much, but it does affect all of our lives. The 30-year fixed is now at 5.29. I have not seen that quick of an increase in some time. 5.29, guys, for a 30-year fixed. That happened almost like overnight, it feels like. That is pretty crazy. So 5.29 30-year. What does this start to do to the housing market? Do we get a slowdown in buyers? Do we start to see, do we start to maybe see inventories rise because the willingness to buy is slowing down? I'm not sure. I have to, I think we did see some readings about inventory demand or real estate demand slowing down on the home sales. So we'll see, but this is something that's very interesting to me. Look how quickly that 30-year fixed rose, guys. That's no longer as an attractive rate as we once were, right? And this is sort of, this is just because this is your effect on the federal funds rate going to be increasing, right? Fed funds rate is increasing. They don't directly correlate, or they don't directly control the 30-year fix, but as the Fed fund rate does start to increase, which they plan to do, you're going to get higher interest rates on everything else. So the 30-year fixed is increasing. You're going to get car rates going higher. Yeah, inventories are still low. I agree, definitely. But that demand is going to slow. If you start to get increasing rates, it's going to start to go up, or demand's going to start to slow down. So just wanted to bring that up. That's very interesting. 30-year fixed, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm locked in at like 3.5, and I thought that was a bad rate. So now I'm happy I didn't do anything. I'm locked in at around 3.5 on a conventional. It went down to like 2.5 at one point, I think. I was going to refinance, but I didn't. So I guess 3.5 doesn't look too bad right now. Recession. Yeah, everyone panic about the recession, man. Everyone panic. So 9 a.m., National House Price Index. We'll see, that's tomorrow. Consumer Confidence Index, job openings tomorrow. Nothing crazy. ADP employment report, GDP revision. This could be interesting. GDP revision Wednesday at 8:30. That could have some effect. So let's keep an eye on that. Wednesday, 8:30 GDP. Jobless claims, that's normal Thursday stuff. Core PCE and consumer spending, Chicago PMI. So some stuff going on here on Thursday as well. Jobless claims, some PCE, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings. So most of the normal things, nothing too out of the ordinary. But definitely some stuff slated this week. So we got GDP, we got our normal Thursday, we got our payrolls on Friday. So some good stuff, some stuff to watch out for. We're not there yet. Today's nothing much, so let's just keep an eye on later this week on the economic calendar and make sure we are aware of all that. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get into the calendar. Or today's plan. So today we're definitely going to focus on Tesla in the morning. Tesla dividend is a stock dividend, an equity dividend is what they plan to potentially do, and they need to do a split. All right, hold on. Let me get rid of this guy in the chat. Unless you guys want to reach out to him via WhatsApp, which I can guarantee you'll lose your money if you do. Tesla dividend could be very interesting. Stocks up about $70 a share this morning, $60 a share. Could be something we watch. Let's go ahead and sort of break that down and let's get a little bit of a game plan on it today. That's what I want to do. BABA, very nice 110 retest on BABA, guys. BABA's up this morning. And BABA came back down to a really strong retest level of 110. This was a previous resistance, and this is a level that it held last week. So let's go ahead and check out BABA today. Facebook, strong uptrend on FB, guys. FB's been looking really good. Been on a nice little trend. Want to go ahead and show you guys that chart. Looks pretty good. I think NVIDIA wants more upside. NVIDIA is up this morning as well, up to almost to $280 a share, and I think there is more there. So I'm definitely going to be watching NVIDIA this week, and I'll share with you guys what I'm looking at. AMD holding a very nice 118 level. Another stock that I'm watching. Apple. Is Apple the first to all-time highs? This is something that I'm not gonna like get aggressive on, but I'm just enjoying watching, guys. As you know, if you come here to my live streams, I'm a very big Apple bull. Have always been, always will be, and just think Apple's one of the best stocks that you can put your money into. It's safe. You know, you're not going to lose 50% of your money in a stock like Apple. It's something that just a stable, gives a little dividend, gets you your tech growth, and also gives you some value. The balance sheet is probably the strongest balance sheet in the world. And I just think it's a great name. And obviously the stock market thinks the same, because Apple is almost, I think, only 3% off all-time highs, which is just incredible. So Apple, is it the first back to all-time highs? Interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Perfect 3,200 hold on Amazon. Amazon retested 3,200. Want to show you guys that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the move last week has been a little bit stock specific. I know it's not fully stock specific because a lot of names did increase, but a lot of these sort of I don't really know how to name them, but the names that are not as good as, let's say, Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, sort of the crappier tech stocks like Peloton, stocks like Roku, stocks like Etsy, stocks like what else? Stocks like, I'm trying to think of all these sort of crappy tech names, these overvalued tech names that got hurt the worst. ROKU, PayPal, Square, Snow, stocks like Roblox, Uber. So all these sort of lower end tech names, they're not looking as good as some of the big boys. So I want to show you guys that. Like stocks like Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA on this bounce look very strong and look like they have a lot of power behind them. But some of these other ones don't. And I want to sort of talk about that. Does this move on the market that we're seeing right now, is it stay a little bit more stock specific? Is it more focused into the big caps? I would agree with it. Zoom's another one. I think it should be, because those are where the real value is. I don't really know if I'd be a buyer of a stock like Roku. I don't really know if I'd be a buyer of a stock like Zoom. I'm not interested in putting my money into those names. I'd rather just continue to buy stocks like Apple and NVIDIA and Tesla, right? And I think that's sort of the feeling across the whole market. So a little bit stock specific, and we want to make sure we focus on that, because just because Roku's down 70-80%, I don't know if that's really a good investment, guys. I know I'm someone that's pretty big on dollar cost averaging and buying shares as we fall, but not in companies that don't have a very bright future. Something like Roku or Zoom, that we're sort of pumped up on, off the virus news. So you got to sort of stay focused on which names you're buying here. I think big cap's probably the way to go. We'll talk a little bit about it today. So let's get started. Nasdaq, let's take a look at it. So here's the Nasdaq, guys. Daily chart. We know that last week we had a very big push. Let me put on the 200 SMA real quick. Let me get the 200 on here for us, so we know where that is, because that has been something that's been pretty important to keep an eye out for. All right, so there's the 200. There's the red line, the 200 SMA. So we can see last week, over the first 3 months of this year, we came back down to 13,000 right here. Perfect bounce, 13,000. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. What a move right off that 13K. Last week, over the last week and a couple days of the week prior, we have bounced over 14%, almost 15% on the Nasdaq. Huge bounce, beautiful stuff. Continued higher, very nice. We are above the 50. We're above the 20. We are below the 100 and 200 SMA. If we start to approach these SMAs, I think we have to lose some steam up here. So I want everyone to be aware of that, right? As we start to approach 15,000, if we do, if we start to get up towards 15, I think that is where you start to lose a little bit of steam on this market. So this 200 and 100 SMA looks tough to me. This is where we rejected last time, right here. The 200 and the 200. We rejected right at the 200 SMA on the daily chart back here in January and February. So we have a little bit more room up to around 15,001. I'm a little bit concerned as we approach that level. Why is it doing that? Right up in here, guys. So I'm sort of watching this 15,000 area on the Nasdaq. You got the 200 up here. You got the 100 that's sloping downwards. So I'm a little bit cautious as we approach that. That is something that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. Right here in this little area around 15,000, where we have this little double top here, is an area that I am being a little bit cautious of. So I want to make sure that everyone's aware of that. As we approach 15, it looks like it could get a little tough up there. Now, in the short-term trend, I love everything about this short-term trend. The way that this market has held has been quite incredible. The sort of the stair-stepping pattern that has created itself. So, as you guys know from last week, we talked about how this market is stair-stepping. You have a previous resistance all right here that turned into some fantastic support. Resistance, resistance, support, and support. That is really, really clean to see. It's just a really nice stair-stepping pattern. Now, yesterday or Friday into this morning, we did the same thing once again, and that keeps me pretty bullish. Look at this stair-step on the market. Look at how nice that stair-step is looking again. Resistance, resistance. You got some support, and you got support this morning. I know we did crack it on Friday intraday, but we reacted very strong to get back above. We came back down to it this pre-market, and look at where this pre-market is bouncing off of. If I put this green chart or this green little area back, and I zoom into the 1 minute chart, look at where the futures market, that pre-market, bounced off of this morning. See this bounce that we're getting this morning? That level that it bounced off of is exactly the level that was the previous highs from back on Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. So I really like how this market is pushing higher. If the market continues to push higher in this form, in this type of technical formation where we're stair-stepping, turning previous resistance into support, I don't have any reason to think that this market is going to fall. As long as we are holding these stair-stepping patterns, I am going to continue to look for upside. It's as easy as that because the formations, the technicals are showing me strength. So I'm not going to try to guess when the market is going to tank if the market is showing bullish signs. Every time that the market holds a previous resistance and turns it into support, that is bullish. And you just can't get away from that. That's a bullish formation, and you have to believe what's on your screen. You can't say, I don't believe this, and I think we're going back down. You have to believe that the technicals are showing strength. So until I start to see a breakdown here, until I start to see maybe a rejection and a push back down here, and then another rejection at these previous levels, I'm not going to be bearish because there's no reason to be. Until I see the technicals show me that there is breakdowns on the horizon. If we start to break down, we start to make lower highs, lower lows, start to make previous resistance into resistance again, I'm waiting until that happens. Then I know I can attack it to the downside. But right now, there is just too much bullish technicals to be bearish. So again this morning, we are holding a previous resistance as support. If we continue to hold this level, which is 14,670, right in that area, 14,670, 14,680. If we hold that 14,680, 14,670 today, intraday, if we come back down and bounce off it again, that is still bullish, guys. And I would not be looking for downside if we are trading above this resistance, which has turned into support this morning. So this is what I'd be watching, guys. You can see the beautiful stair steps. I would watch Friday's highs as potential rejection point, 14,840. If you break 14,840, I think you're coming up to 15,000, guys. I think that's your last test before 15. 14,840, Friday's highs, right here. 14,840 resistance. If you break that, I think 15K. And I think that's where you start to get really heavy. So, beautiful retest, break, retest, good stuff. 14,840. And that is what I'd be watching. Yeah, for 14.8, it's going to be tough up here. Friday's highs, so let's see. All right. Just really nice stuff across the board. ES, another stock that's been making stair-stepping patterns. So let's start on the daily chart. Let's take a look at it. Here's the daily chart, guys, and what we can see this morning is we are trading at 45.40, and that is right here at the 100 SMA. I'm a little bit concerned of this. You guys can see right here. Look at where we rejected both on January and February, right here at the 100 SMA. That's a little concerning. That's a little bit concerning. So right here, you guys can see rejection, rejection, rejection. Do we get over this 100 SMA today? That is going to be something that I am very focused on. If we close above the 100 SMA, then I would be very bullish on this move. If you can close above the 100 today, guys, I think that's a very good thing. So let's keep an eye on that. The 100 is right around 45.40. 45.40. So 454 on the SPY. That's what I'd be watching, the 100 SMA. That's going to be big today. So you're literally right there. You're 2 points off the 100 SMA as we trade right now in the pre-market. I think that is a big level to see if we can get over. If we go to the hourly chart, we can see the trend has been very strong. We have the same type of stair-stepping patterns. Not as clean as the Nasdaq, but I will show you guys sort of what I was watching. So right here, you have a stair step, you have rejection, 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 you come back down, you hold it as support, sort of in this area. As I said, it's not as clean as the Nasdaq. You do have a few slips below, but for the most part, rejection, 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 you break, you retest, you hold it as support. You break out, here's your previous high, and you guys can see this morning, where are we bouncing off of? We're bouncing right off that previous level. If I put out my stair-stepping level, my 45.14, if I zoom into the 5-minute chart, look at where the ES is bouncing off of in the pre-market today. Right off that level, right? So watch that right there. You guys can see that's your level today. I would want to see the ES hold that today to remain really bullish in the short term. So here's your stair-stepping patterns on the ES. 45.14, so 451 on the SPY. There's your previous highs from Wednesday, turning into support today. This is what it did previously. You need to see the SPY hold this level to remain very bullish in the short term, right? It's very easy to, sort of judge what needs to happen. If you hold this level today, that's very bullish in the short term. If you break below this level today and you turn it into resistance, all right, if you break below, come back up and start to turn it into resistance, then you guys know that we might have some more short-term downside. So make sure you guys know your key levels. That's why I do this every single morning, because it makes your process very easy. It makes your thought process easy. It's almost binary. It's either one or the other, right? If for me today, if the ES is trading above 45.14, I am bullish. If it is trading below 45.14, I am bearish. And if it comes up and retests and turns it into resistance, I am definitely bearish. So it's a very easy thing. If you know your key levels, know where the stock market is trading, you need to know where the market is trading at. So 45.14, that's what I'd be watching. And then to the upside, 45.40, which is the 100 SMA. Right? 100 SMA is 45.40 on the daily chart right here. 45.40. There you go. So Tesla they're doing it. We'll talk about it in a second, guys, after we do all this. So we did ES. Let's go over YM. All right. YM, it's not dilution, you're right. Your shares do not get diluted if you get more shares. The equity value of your share position is the exact same. All right. So it's not an offering, right? A stock split is not an offering. An offering is when you dilute. All right. So here we go. 35,500. That's that big resistance on the Dow. Right here. 35,500. This is what I'm a little concerned of, right? Right up in here. 100 and 200 SMA. 100 and 200 SMA on the Dow is right there on the daily chart. that's a little bit concerning. I think that's where you're going to find some pressure up here. There's a little bit of resistance sort of in this 35,000, 34.9 area right here around 35,000. I think that's a little bit, that has to be a little bit careful. So 35,000, I think, is your psychological resistance right up here in the Dow. You guys can see we're up right near that 35,000. I'm not that interested in the Dow, to be honest, guys. It's been really choppy. I'm just sort of watching, the tech move because I think there's more opportunity there. This is just sort of a chopping, sort of sideways market right now. It has been holding up very nicely, but the Dow is just sort of, just sort of chilling. It's only 5% off highs. If you want to try to see if stocks like Home Depot, Boeing, Caterpillar, how they're working, I would just keep an eye on the Dow here. I would just watch that 35,000 level. Russell, 2100, guys. We're getting close. We're getting close to that 2100. Right up there at 2100, guys. So watch out for that. 2100 could be a very nice area for a breakout. We'll see if it does. We'll see if it does push through. But that's going to be a tough level. So let's keep an eye on the small caps. If the Russell breaks through 2100, if you're watching IWM, if it breaks through 210, that is going to be an interesting move on the small caps. So watch out for that. All right. So that is for the futures this morning, guys. Everything still looks pretty good in my opinion. We're still holding previous retest levels as support. Let's go ahead and get into Tesla. So here we go. Tesla. Let's go ahead and clear up the news for everyone. So this morning, here's the news, right? Tesla shares are trading higher after the company announced the board of directors has approved for an increase in the number of authorized shares of common stock in order to enable a stock split of the company's stock in the form of a stock dividend. So it seems like they want to give a stock dividend, and a stock dividend, which is different than a cash dividend. A cash dividend is sort of like your, $2-3, whatever the dividend yield that you get in cash. Stock dividend is where they're actually paying out equity, which is interesting. I don't know if I know of another stock that does that. So let me pull up the CNBC news here so we can all sort of clarify what's going on here. I need to clarify myself because I'm new to reading this as well. Legicar will ask for an annual shareholder meeting for an increase in the number of authorized shares of common stock in order to enable a stock split of the company's common stock in the form of a stock dividend. A stock dividend is a dividend paid to shareholders in the form of additional company shares instead of cash. These dividends do not affect the value of the company, but they dilute its share price. Okay, so it looks like stock dividend is dilutionary. Dilute its share price. Okay, interesting. So I didn't know that about a stock dividend. Tesla shares were up 4.5% in pre-market trading. Interesting. Okay. So it looks like, I know there are some pros to a stock dividend that you don't pay taxes on a stock dividend because it's not a gain. You only pay taxes on a stock dividend after you sell the shares. So if you are receiving stock dividends, you're never paying taxes on it unless you sell when you actually realize them. On a cash dividend, you're paying taxes as you receive them every year. So that's an interesting pro of a stock dividend. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever experienced a stock doing this. Has anyone else since they've been trading experienced the stocks doing a stock dividend? I don't know of another time. So I'm not sure the reaction on this. Anyone feel free to write in the chat if you experienced another stock declaring a stock dividend. I have not experienced that before. So it should be interesting. It seems like that is definitely a catalyst to the upside this morning. It seems like that is being taken as a pro. But we'll see, obviously things are going to have to transpire. But that is sort of what's going on this morning. So Tesla, we can see on the daily chart was sort of stuck here around this 1020, but we are clearly above that now. Let's go to the 4-hour. I'd rather get the taxes out of the way up front. Yeah, I mean, it depends on, depends on what you like. So here we go, guys. So you can see we got the big breakout off the news right here, big green candle. We were sort of getting stuck for about a week. We can see on the 30-minute. Look at the last 3 days before the end of the week. Look at this rejection here around 1020. Look at how tough it was right here, 1020. You can see rejection, rejections, all rejections here at 1020. Just could not get above it. Now, this news, this catalyst gives you a huge push to the upside. So big push to the upside through this resistance. This morning on news, does it continue? Would I want to see a retest? Of course I would. Do I think we're going to get a retest? I don't know. Would I want to see maybe a retest of 1040 here and turn, this previous high into resist or high into support right here at 1040? Yeah, I'd love that. Or would I want to see a retest all the way back down to 1020 and bounce off that as support? Yeah, I'd love that as well. But do we get that? Do we get a pullback to that strength today? I don't know. But those are the levels I would be watching for, I think, pretty nice purchase points. 1040 retest or even a 1020 retest, give back the whole move and try to turn previous resistance into support. That's sort of what I'd be watching personally. If you guys like fibs, we can see where those fib levels sort of point out. So yeah, I mean, the 1040 would be a 50% retracement, and the 1020 would be about a 78.6 retracement. So they sort of line up with those fib levels. I would probably watch for the 1040 retest today, guys. If you do get the 1040, I think there will be short-term support off that level, guys. Absolutely. I think you're absolutely going to see a reaction at 1040 if you get a pullback to that level. So you guys can see right here, previous resistance. If you get that 1040 retest, I would look for it, maybe a little bit of a short-term trade off of it if you get that retest to 1040. So that's the first thing I'm looking for today on Tesla. Just looking at, short-term trading opportunities. That would be the first trading opportunity I would watch personally. 1040. If you don't get any type of pullback and you just rally, if today's just a Tesla rally, guys, I really can only give you one piece of advice. Use the 9 EMA. Use the 9 EMA on the 5-minute and the 1 minute. That's really all I could give you. I mean, when Tesla rallies, it's really hard to just sort of catch, a move, and you just got to trust in the 9 EMA pullbacks. You can see it's sort of doing that this morning. You can see, pullbacks to the 5-minute 9 EMA right here. Sort of flags into the 9 EMA. Even in the pre-market here, you can see a little flag into the 9 in a breakout. You can see a pullback to the 5-minute 9 EMA. This is sort of how I read the market on an intraday basis. When a move is actually trending in a single direction. I'm just using the EMAs to try to catch little short-term trades. Use VWAP pullbacks, 9 EMAs. That's what I'd be looking for. Maybe intraday retests. You can sort of see a retest sort of forming right here. Intraday retest of 1065. So it's going to be tough. If this thing just rallies out of the gates, I would just be very careful, guys. It's not something that I would, get myself chasing. I'd be very careful sort of chasing this out of the gates if that's what it does. If it just goes straight up at open, does no pullback, does no good buying opportunity, just be careful here. I personally, if the way I trade, guys, I need to see some pullback. So 1040 would be perfect. That's really where I'd like to see it. Right back to here, 1040, start to hold some support, and then let me buy this thing back up. This would be a beautiful retest. Maybe it doesn't happen today. Maybe it happens tomorrow. Maybe it happens on Wednesday. But I'm looking for that 1040. If it goes straight up out of the gates, then it's you guys, vaya con Dios. Good luck. Go with God. If it goes straight out of the gates, I can't help you if it does that. All right, Baba. So I like this. This 1010 pullback on Baba quite a bit. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. So you guys can see we had a previous resistance at 1040 right here. Our previous support, support. We broke through it, and we retested it. Now, when we retested it, look at what it's doing here. I like how it's holding this 10-10. So I'm watching to see, can BABA sort of hold this 10-10 on this pullback and start to get strength again? It's filled some of these gaps, filled this gap, it filled this downside gap. It didn't fill this one yet. So this is the big one that it has not filled, but I don't know if I see it filling that one if you can get a hold at 10-10 or 110. So I'm going to keep an eye on BABA here, guys, today. That's going to be one of my watches. I'm going to be watching to see, can BABA hold this 110 level, which is a previous resistance here. You can see right here, previous resistance, turning into support. If we can sort of flag potentially out of this move, maybe we can get a push off 110, which is a previous support level right here. Support, support, support. Can you hold it as support again? Can you get another move on BABA here? So that's what I'm going to be watching today. One thing we'll be keeping an eye on BABA off 110. Just wanted to share that with you here. Facebook. So Facebook, since its retest, has been on a very nice run, guys. And I'm sort of liking it. I'm sort of liking the opportunity that's maybe presenting here. So we can see back last week, we got over this 210 level right here. We got over 210. We broke and we retested it. Now we held it very nicely. And ever since we held, we have been on a really strong uptrend here. Facebook has sort of been grinding higher ever since it retested that 210 level. You guys can see right here, previous resistance, and it turned into support. So Facebook to the upside. Can this continue? It's a little bit questionable. There's a lot of sort of pivot levels over here that I'm a little bit concerned of. You can see all these previous highs like 220s, 230s, 240s, a lot of previous levels to watch out for. But what I'm more focused on more than anything is this right here, guys. I'm focused on this short-term uptrend that's holding really, really nicely. So if we continue to hold this uptrend, I'm going to continue to see if Facebook can continue higher. You can see here's your retest right here. Ever since the retest, it has held this uptrend really well. So watching this uptrend on Facebook has been a very nice move since the retest. And if I just zoom out for a second and I go to the daily chart, I can see the case that could be made for more upside, right? On the daily chart especially. I could see this thing back to 245, and that's probably where it would reject. 245, maybe reject off that, right? Off this, where this gap down started. So you can see big gap down right to 245. I could see a sort of a pushback into that, into the 245, because you did make a higher high, right? Right here, here's a previous high. You made a higher high right off the retest. So I like the uptrend. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I can see Facebook maybe back up into the 240s. I'm going to see if we continue here. Decent opportunity, right? On a stock that's been sold off pretty heavily. Not my favorite stock. You guys know that. I'm not big into the social media names. But, if there's a trading opportunity, I'll definitely consider it. All right, NVIDIA. Beautiful stuff. Love NVIDIA. Love everything about it. Beautiful daily chart breakout. Just really, really strong. Above the 100, above the 50, above the 20, above all the moving averages. If we go to the 5-minute chart, you guys can see that on Friday, we pulled back to around this retest. It's not perfect, but it's sort of in there, right? It's not perfect. It's not to the exact dollar amount, but it's right near that 272. You go to the 15-minute chart. You can see right here. You broke out previous resistance around that 270, 272 right here. Broke out, pulled back, previous resistance, turning into support, right? So today on NVIDIA, I need to see it hold above 272, guys. If you get a breakdown on NVIDIA below 272, below Friday's lows, then you guys know that this is going to get a little bit bearish. So it's as easy as that. NVIDIA needs to hold above Friday's lows for this stock to remain bullish, in my opinion. This is previous resistance, which turned into support on Friday. I think that needs to hold as support again today. 272 is the level I'd be watching. If we go to the 4-hour, 285 looks tough. This level looks really tough right in here. What is this? Yeah, 292. Right in 290s. Look at all that previous support. So you can see, if we zoom in here, Look at all of this. Look at all this support, 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 right? See all these previous levels here at 292? This is where we ended up breaking down. So if we push back into that, right, we should expect a lot of resistance if we push back into that. So watch out for that. That's definitely a level I'm watching. 292s. Looks like a lot of resistance. Previous support will turn into resistance if we push back higher. So watch out. But today, if we want to know exactly what we need to look for today, then we need to look for a hold of Friday's lows, 272. That's a must. AMD. Very similar chart on AMD, guys. Look at this. Very similar chart on AMD. What does AMD have to hold? It has to hold this 118, right? Look at this. Previous resistance turns into support this morning. Obviously, you have to hold 118 today on AMD. If you break 118, you know where this is going to go, right? It's very clear. Very, very clear to see. If you break 118, you are going to move lower. This is your stair-stepping level that has to hold. Previous highs, previous highs. You could bring it down to, let's say, all right, you could bring it down to, let's say, the lows, which are more around 117.40s. You know, you can definitely say there's a little bit of a wiggle room there. So you can say maybe the 117s, 117.20, 117.50, all in that area. But it's clear. Resistance, 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 support, and it has to turn into support. I mean, if you break that, right, if you break this, you're going to move back down to the 114s probably. So that's what I'd be watching on AMD today, guys. Very nice stair-stepping pattern, but it has to hold up. It has to hold up around this 117. So watch that today. That could be a nice area to play to the upside. It could be a nice area to get a rejection, to get a slip. Apple, what a move. I mean, look at this move, man. Look how consistent this was. From Tuesday, remember the 150s? Oh, my God. Back from the 150s on Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. Look at the trend that Apple was on. Look at how nice the EMAs or the SMAs fanned out. This was just really, really nice stuff. So, insane move. Really nothing else to say. We were sort of talking about how you just should buy every single move on this stock last week. These are what all these red arrows are. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I mean, at this point, your trading opportunity is just not as high, right? Because you're coming into some really tough levels. This 176, this is tough stuff. Right? All in here, guys, where you're starting to push into is tough. All right, and this is just a really clean example of, this is just a really perfect example of why, right, if you're getting interested in Apple now, if now is the time that you're interested in seeing if Apple can go upside more, if that's what's on your mind today, then you have to change something, because today is not the day to be looking for more upside in Apple. It was last week. It was the week before. It was as it was pulling back, as Apple was down 20%, as Apple was pushing down into this key 150 level. This is when you should be looking, for Apple upside. If you are someone that now, somehow the flip has been switched now after this move, there's something, it's just not, you're not thinking about it correctly, right? This is not where you get bullish on Apple, guys. This is not where you get bullish on Apple. Down here, you have to be able to flip your bias, because I know how many people were just so bearish on this move down, right? So many people were bearish on this move. And no one, I know a lot of people did. I'm not saying everyone, but very few people were saying, hey, check out this opportunity. Apple, one of the best stocks in the market, down 18%, is sitting at a really crucial previous resistance that could turn into support, right? And that's where you take your shot. If your flip has been switched here, you are behind the game. So I would not be bullish on Apple here. I'm always bullish on Apple. I'll buy stock on Apple every single day of the week. I don't care. I've been buying it every day since the beginning of the year, and I will continue to do so. However, this is not a very high risk to reward here, because there is I'm wrong. Okay, Carl. Thanks, buddy. I'm wrong. Yeah, I've been wrong. I was wrong last Sunday when I told people that the market was going to break out and to start looking for upside. I was wrong then too. So watch out for this resistance, 176, rejection, and watch out for the rejection here around 176. It looks a little tough to me. I would be a little bit cautious. There's definitely some resistance in this area. You might get a little pullback off this. It probably needs it. It definitely needs it, right? Look at all these green days in a row. So I would be cautious up here, guys. Watch out for all this. This is just a crazy move. I would definitely look for a pullback here. I wouldn't be someone that's looking for upside through this level. That doesn't look like a good risk to reward for me, guys, in my opinion, right? Risk to reward was back here, all right? This risk to reward is, not great. Maybe to the downside it is, if we start to see some weakness. But you have to see weakness first, right? You can't just take it. You can't just take Apple puts because it's up so much. You have to wait for the weakness to show itself. So if you start to see weakness on Apple, if you start to see maybe a few red days come in, maybe the risk to reward is better because you could just put your stops over these highs, right? And then play it to the downside. So beautiful stuff. Is Apple the first stock to all-time highs? I would put my money. I would do a little friendly wager on it. I would do a little friendly wager on Apple being the first stock back to 182, back to all-time highs. I'd put a friendly wager on it. It's another 4%, and it's probably one of the best performing stocks right now. So awesome stuff, guys. I hope if this move. No, Carl's just mad because he was bearish on the market and then just continued to be bearish as this is going up. I'm bearish. This is fake. Apple sucks. Oh my God, why is it still going higher? Oh, I can't buy this now. It's at all-time highs. Oh, I just missed out on the whole opportunity, right? That's usually how it goes. So that's why people are mad most of the time. All right, Amazon. So Amazon. I enjoy it, Bernie. That's why. I genuinely enjoy it. So 3,200 resistance, or support. Pretty nice hold here on 3,200. Pretty nice hold here at 3,200, guys, on Amazon. Look at this. If I go to the hourly chart, this is a really nice hold, in my opinion, at 3,200. Could Amazon push higher here? I don't know. I'm not a big proponent of Amazon. I just don't like how the stock has traded for the last year and a half. It's just been very sideways. But you guys can see right here. Look at this little double bottom that formed at 32. So if you guys like Amazon, if you're a big trader of it, I would work off this 32 level, right? Support. This is back from Friday, both Friday, or this is Thursday of last week. This is the Friday prior. So you have your 3,200 level to work with here. So if you are a trader of Amazon, watch out for that. 32 could be a nice level to play off of. This is a big level on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see right here. We were talking about this level. Previous support. You broke through it and you turned it into support again, right? Very nice stuff. So turning previous support into support once again. This is a nice little break and retest of a key 3,200 level. So, yeah, I mean, maybe there's something there off that 32. I just wanted to show you guys that there is maybe some opportunity there. You guys can see we pulled back to 32 on the daily, bounced right off of it. There definitely could be some more upside here, as long as you hold the 32 level, right? Right there. So very clear. I would say if Amazon can break these highs, which you are sort of trading in a channel right now, I would say there'd be upside if you are able to break Tuesdays and Wednesdays highs. That would be sort of what I'm watching, as long as you hold the 3,200. If you crack the 32, that is very bearish, guys. You do not want to see the crack of 32. All right? So watch out for the 32 crack. All right. So real quick, just a little bit of news about stock specific. I just wanted to sort of show you guys some charts. Like, there has been some really nice bullish moves, but guys, like, for example, right? Look at this stock, right? This is ROKU. This is sort of, let me use ROKU as my example here, just to wrap it up real quick. So look at ROKU's chart, right? Very nice week. We got a little bit of upside. This is very similar to maybe some of the upside that I nailed on the downside here back in February. You got some upside, right? But has ROKU done anything on the larger term time frame? So I would really recommend everyone to zoom out for a second, right? Look at ROKU. It was a nice week for ROKU because of the rest of the market, but it's still making lower highs, all right? There's nothing quite here to make you bullish. Lower highs, lower highs. This could honestly be another fantastic downside play. Now, when you compare a stock like ROKU to a stock like Apple, right, things are a lot different here. All right, Apple's 3% off all-time highs. So there is some extreme stock-specific moves going on in this market. Stocks like NVDA that actually made higher highs and higher lows, right? Stocks like Tesla, which are clearly very strong right now. AMD is doing decent, nothing crazy. But when you compare these really big cap tech stocks, Microsoft's another one that's been doing great. All right, unless you guys want to go see hot girls and hot boys, we're gonna have to hide this person. So when I say this, right, there's stocks like Peloton, right, that really haven't done anything. A stock like Etsy, which is still looks very, very weak. Stocks like ROKU, very weak still in my opinion. So just be careful of everything. It's not like a buy everything type of move, right? You have to just keep an eye on the really strong stuff. Stocks like Tesla, like Apple, like NVIDIA, the big cap tech names, which have been really strong, and watch out for, getting suckered into like a ROKU bounce. That just is really not a great name. So that's what I wanted to bring up. Things could obviously change, guys, but just be aware of that, right? There is definitely some stock-specific things going on, without a doubt. All right. I'm going to pull up the Google Docs, and we'll go over what you guys want to look at, the members of the channel. If you guys are not a member of the channel, then make sure to check it out if you feel. There's a join button down below if you guys want to get access to the Google Docs where you guys can put your tickers for us to look at on a daily basis here in the live stream. So the first one is SWN, Southwestern energy name. I'm not sure. This might be a push off of, just energy being strong. They got some price target increases today, but yeah, man, I don't really, if you're listening now, please don't put these, smaller cap. I'm not a good analyst, or I'm not a good person to analyze, momentum type penny stock moves. This might not be, but, I'm not quite sure about what this is. There's obviously some news going out. It's a $6 stock. Looks like a recent IPO. I mean, I would just ride the momentum. That's all I could help you with this. There's nothing else I could really say. Maybe look for a pullback to around the 580s. But, I'm just not someone that trades these types of moves, so I'm not the best person to ask here. ET, another energy name, it seems. Energy transfer. Just see if energy continues. Watch the XLE. Watch if you can break over this $10. It's another just cheap energy name. Yeah, guys, I'm not the best person to ask for this. I would watch for this rejection here, right around 1150. If it pushes into 1150, it probably rejects. So watch out for that 1150. Previous support into resistance will turn into resistance again. All right, this is more like it. CRM. All right, CRM. What's CRM been up to? Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, it got a push, but this is another name like I just talked about, right? This is another name that I talked about that I just don't love. The strength's just not quite there, stock specific, right? CRM is still not making higher highs, right? That's concerning to me. You can see right here, guys, look at how previous support turned into pretty nasty resistance again. Right here, you can see previous support into resistance, and it looks like the 50 SMA is holding this stock down. So, this is a little bit concerning. This is not that strong to me. Even though the market is pushing, this is not that strong to me. So I would be careful here. Just watch out for the 50. Watch out for this 213 previous support. You need to start seeing this thing stair-stepping higher, right? You need to start seeing something like this before I can look for upside. It needs to prove itself, guys. Right? You need to see. You don't want to just. You don't need to catch this thing, before everyone else. Let it start to trend higher. Let it start to make some higher highs, higher lows. It has been making some higher lows, I will say, but you can see this resistance sort of getting stuck here. I would want to give it a little bit more time. Let's see if it starts to make some higher highs, higher lows. Let's see if it starts to continue a little higher. You still got a lot of resistance on this chart that I would be careful of. It's in the process, it looks like. It looks like it's in the process, but I don't think it's quite ready if you're looking for upside. Yeah, I love this square move. This is the 130 retest that we continue to talk about. If square holds 130, I think there's opportunity here. I've talked about it every single live stream. So right here, guys, if square holds 130, support or resistance. If this holds support, I think it can push, but you got to see 130 hold. A little bit of a flag here. You want to see 130 hold. You want to see that push start to go. I would look for 130 to hold. Previous resistance into support. Yeah, this stock's still going, man. John Deere is still going. Crazy. John Deere has been insane. We are not, we're not slowing down. So watch out for this. I mean, I'm not someone that buys this. Not in any way, shape, or form. And I can't give you an upside target. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to give an upside target on this stock, right? Who knows? Here, let me close my eyes and let me put a line somewhere. I'm closing my eyes right there. What is that? 450. All right, you can't. It's all-time highs. It's on a huge weekly chart breakout. There's no way of knowing how much this goes. Some people will try to do it with like Fibonacci extensions or something and say, oh, it can only go 60%, right? I don't know. I would wait till it shows you some rejection. This has been an insanely strong breakout on the weekly chart. You guys can clearly see it. I would wait for like the first few red days, maybe some lower highs start to build, and then you can play it to the downside or something. But yeah, this is on a big breakout, guys. This is a momentum trade. It's just a momentum trade. So if you want to trade the momentum, feel free. But I am not someone that gets involved in something like this, right? I don't get involved in something like this. I would need to see this. This right here is the most beautiful trade you can find. Right there, guys. If we get a pullback to 390 on John Deere on the weekly chart, I would be a buyer. But until then, I do nothing. Neo, it's this is another name, guys. This is another name that I just talked about, right? Stock specific, right? You are getting a push higher, but is Neo really doing anything here to make you feel more bullish? It's still in a pretty intense downtrend, right? You're sort of still in this pretty intense downtrend. I would really need to see over 28, in my opinion. I would want to see this move over 28 before I really feel comfortable here. Maybe a hold of this 28 and then a pushback higher. I need to see more. I'm not trying to catch this downtrend before we have any consolidation. Like, for example, guys, the reason why I liked Square is because you can see Square started to make a consolidation. It started to form a base here, and it started to make higher highs. On Neo, you have yet to consolidate, right? You have yet to consolidate. You're still making lower lows. There is no consolidation here yet. So I still think this is a little bit cautious. I don't know if I'd play it. PayPal's the final one. This one looks just like Square to me. You need to hold 113. You guys can see right here. Previous resistance into support. Right here, guys. This is a break and retest as well. PayPal's another one that consolidated. Started to make higher highs. Pulled back. Break and retest. Needs to hold 113. Right there. 113 needs to hold. Break and retest. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. If you guys could, before you head out, please press the like button. That helps me a lot. Helps more people watch the stream. Helps more people get informed about what we do here. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If this is your first time here and you want to stay tuned, I do this every day, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. Thank you guys for always supporting. Hopefully everyone takes advantage of today. Hopefully you guys do well. Be safe out there. Be careful on Tesla. There's going to be millions and millions of eyes on it today. They're going to try to screw you. So be very careful. I would only take really good setups. Don't blow everything you know about trading out of the water because Tesla's up $60 a share this morning. It's not how you trade, guys. Let it come to you. Let it pull back. Let it give you a 9 EMA. Let it give you a retest hold. Let it give you maybe some kind of pullback, or if you're playing it to the downside, let it show some lower highs. Let it show some lower lows. Stick what you do. Stick what you know. You guys know how to trade, but you don't let these things get you all flustered. So let Tesla come to you today. I'm sure there's going to be opportunity on both directions, and I would just pretend like it's another day. Don't go crazy. All right, guys, it's Monday. Mondays are days to learn, to sort of get an idea of what this market wants to do, and that's what I'm going to do today. So hope to see you in the Discord. If you guys want to come hang out, check it out down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.